few years ago, I was a shy, awkward guy. The guy who felt awkward as fuck in social situations. Who thought that every single thing was weird. Or every single stuff that I did was awkward. And when I got uncomfortable with my own skin, I just pull out my phone and start scrolling, pretending to be busy, and but inside, I was dying. And if you relate to that even a bit, then this video is completely going to change your life. And I mean it. Because here's the thing, right? People tell you, like, oh, here's why you're awkward. But they never tell you the real solution for it. People tell you, oh, this is why you're awkward, and more reasons as to why you're awkward. And a self fulfilling cycle fucks you up. They never explain why or how to overcome that, right? Well, today, I got a good news for you, man. I'm going to change that once and for all. So you can stop feeling that way and start acting or expressing yourself as you want. And the first thing that I want to tell you is that you might have clicked the video to think about, oh, what are those 3 social habits that I need to avoid, or what habits am I doing that makes me awkward, right? Here's the thing that I want to really tell you, right? Because just few months ago, I felt into this trap that, oh, I need to know more about this, that, oh, this is the reason I'm awkward, right? This is the reason I'm weird and all that stuff. The more reason you're trying to find, the more reason you go for finding those things, the self prophecy is like, it starts becoming true. So it's like this, right? Once you like start like learning about something, the more you learn about something, the more thoughts you have about that. So if you start thinking about those things that happen in social situations, the more reason you're going to give yourself that you're awkward. So it's not going to be, there's going to be no point of me just telling you, like, oh, this is the reason you're awkward, because I'm telling you that's not going to help you at all. The things I'm going to tell you right now, like, oh, these are the 3 social habits that's making you awkward, that's not the thing. That's not the point. I want to give you more reasons why you're awkward, right? That's just the self prophecy that is. And that's the first point. Stop telling yourself or stop seeking as to why you're more awkward, because you're just telling that part of your brain that you are. And the more you're trying to find out the answer, right, the more you're telling your brain that you are. So that's the first thing. Stop finding out about why or what habits I'm doing that's causing you that way, right? And this is how you stop this self prophecy you tell yourself. So once you realize that you are trying to learn more about things or trying to prove yourself that you are awkward, now that you're aware of that shit, for this whole time I was just telling myself that I am. Because most of the time we are not even awkward. Just make it awkward, right? Actually think about it. When was the time when was the time you told yourself that something was awkward? Was your environment, the people around you, the content you watch? Is that even awkward? Like, what do you tell yourself? What is awkward? Sometimes we tell ourselves that something is awkward, and that thought causes us to feel that way, and that feeling causes us to act that way. I don't know, it seems so simple, but once you understand and grasp this concept, right? And understanding the fact that shit, I was the guy who's telling myself this whole time that something was awkward, and that thought causes me to act that way. And this first thing, just understanding this first thing is so important. Now, once you have this thought, let's say your thought that shit, what I did was awkward, what I said was awkward, what I do did anything in that social situation, my bad, was awkward. Once you do that, call it out, right? Because here's the thing: the more you're stuck in this fucking head, in your head, just contemplating those thoughts and saying things to your in your head, the worse it gets. Make sense? So the more you have these thoughts about shit, why did I said that to her? Like, oh shit, I said this wrong way, or it didn't land the joke right. The joke didn't land, or something like that. Once you understand that that happened, now when it did happen, what you can do is like sit with those thoughts and suffer in your own head and think about it the whole week, making your whole day, your whole life miserable, or at that time just call it out, oh shit, the joke didn't land right, fuck, I missed that shot, something like that. Just call it out. Once you call that thing out, once you call that the thing you feel or you think is awkward, and you call it out to the people around you, the importance or the relief you have inside your head dissipates. So the more you hold it in your head, the more you're gonna suffer in your own head. I know it sounds too dark, but actually think about it. We are just suffering in our own head with our own thoughts. So once you call it out, once you feel that relief, that's the magic happens. Because once you call it out, once you call those mistakes that you make, sometimes you stutter, sometimes you do something that you didn't want to, and made you feel awkward. And when you call it out, the environment you are in just dissipates. So that's a small tactic. I won't say tactic, but it's just making you more human, right? And what I realized is like the more the more we are in our own head, the more awkward we feel in our own skin. So nowadays what I realize is like whenever we go outside, right? And it's not even their fault. Is that the content we watch, the lifestyle we have, just watching in TikTok, some reels, forums, or some posts, right? Just in our phone, is that our phone has become our escape mechanism, if that makes sense, right? So whenever you start try to feel awkward, when you feel awkward, nothing's awkward in life, it's just you make it awkward, and that fact causes you to feel awkward and that you act towards it. So think the thought you had, you thought, shit, this is awkward. Now you feel awkward, right? The sensation you have, and you start acting that way. Now, when you catch yourself in a thought spiral, once you understand that fact, is that understanding won't do anything alone. Of course, it is good, but just understanding won't be enough. You need to stop understanding that when you feel awkward, what's your first reaction? Do you reach out for your phone, right? In a social situation, because I've seen this a lot, and I used to do this too. So I'm also the one to blame, not blame, but I was in that thing. Now, understanding that fact is that, look, when you feel a certain way, let's say you feel awkward, you feel like something, you're angry, anxious, fear, what you do? How do you escape yourself? Because we always trying to escape our feelings. I'm not really trying to go deep here, but we always escape those feelings. So let's say there's a scenario, right? There's a scenario that somebody, you did something awkward, anything. You felt like you did something awkward. What's the first reaction? You reach out for your phone, start scrolling, start thinking, oh, what people are thinking about me, and all that stuff. And that thought causes you to feel even more awkward. So now you know that there is something that you do to escape your uncomfortableness. I don't know if that's a word, right? So when you feel like awkward, right, or anything uncomfortable in your own skin, observe yourself. Like observe what you're trying to do. Observe like what your body does, because there's a pattern every single time. And once you don't understand the pattern that you're going through, then no matter what you do, bro, that pattern is gonna control your life. And that pattern, meaning that the habits you have that has been conditioned by your past conditioning, by your parents, by your friends, by your environment, by the content you watch, right? And those things might seem like really, really like not that much that will affect how you act, right? But in reality, it can. And if I'm being honest, it does. So understanding this fact that when you are aware, let's say you are uncomfortable in your own skin, let's say somebody is asking you about something, or you are talking to someone and you feel uncomfortable, right? So see what you do. Do you reach out for your phone when you feel uncomfortable? Do you um, or say something, or do you like just stay quiet? Understanding how you escape those uncomfortableness, if that's a word, you can start peeling back the curtains you have, right? And of course, being aware is good. And let's say you're aware, right? How can you go about not being awkward? Because the part of this video is not being awkward. And the fact that I'm telling you all of these things is because, as we said before in the first lesson, that awkwardness is just the things you tell yourself that is, right? So if you tell yourself even more that you're awkward, then that's the thing you feel like awkward, right? The thinking, the feeling, and the acting. So if you think you're awkward, you feel like awkward, and you act like awkward, right? You feel uncomfortable. So that's one of the things. Now we're gonna go more in depth, and of course, by the way, if you want to learn more in this, like even deeper, like want to know specifically how to do all of this and also get some direct help with me and other people with the same like-minded mindset and everything, click the link in the description. It's a free private community where we go really, really deep in. We have calls weekly and everything. So if that feel like that's something you really, really go through and want to have somebody around you and everything, check it out. And it's a really, really good place. So back to what we were saying, right? So the specific thing you need to understand when you want to peel back those unconscious habits you do, or the things you do in social situations, right? Some habits you do that causes you to feel that certain way. Now, understanding that when you're doing the escaping, right, the escaping mechanism. So what's that escaping mechanism that causes you to do? Like we said, that maybe you reach out for your phone, maybe you say you always say things, you stutter, you something, right? Now, understanding that fact is crucial. Now, why do people do that? Right? Why do people do that? Because they feel uncomfortable. Why? Now, understanding this, why I'm asking these questions is understanding why for each thing can help you get to that deep root cause. For you, the why can be different. For another person, the why can be different. For somebody else, they feel comfortable because the person they are talking to, they seem to make them appear, or the other person might be something, right? Everybody has their own why as to why they feel uncomfortable and nervous. And once you figure that out, and actually, I'm saying actually sit down and ask yourself, why do I feel uncomfortable towards this person or towards this specific scenario, right? Because everybody feel uncomfortable. But once you don't understand, once you're not aware, because awareness alone is 50% of the problem solved. So understanding the deep why, easy, it's easy. Then understanding how to solve it, it takes some practice and everything, but understanding the why is also crucial. Now, one of the biggest things that I help, and not help, but have helped a lot of people in my community is this one tactic and one technique that really, really helps you out. So I don't know if you have heard about this thing, right? This affirmations and everything, like, oh, just say you're confident, right? Oh, I'm confident as fuck. Like telling yourself these things in the mirror, saying mantras and everything and affirmations. It can work, but if you don't put this one thing, right? So it's like people do affirmations and tell themselves mindlessly, trying to force everything in their mind, but the mind knows like fuck no, you're not that person. It fucking, what's it called, brings you the whole PowerPoint telling you like you are this, you were embarrassed at this time, or you were laughed at this time, in this day, right? Remember this. It gives you all this reason why, right? So forcing yourself and saying affirmations never gonna work, because you're not trying to convince your brain, you are trying to convince your heart, because your heart feels those emotions. And the only way to actually convince that part of your brain and your heart is, for a heart, I know I'm going too deep here, it's like the heart part is like the emotional part, the image you present, the memories you have, and the emotions you have towards that image and memories can cause you to feel a certain way. So let's say, I don't know, like maybe something happened in the past and a lot of things that causes you to feel a certain way in social situations, and now when you have those emotions really, really intact, can cause you to really, really, it is really hard. I won't say it's easy but it's simple. Anybody can do it. You can do it too, to be honest. Because if I did it, bro, I was way worse just a few years ago. I don't want to talk about it. I don't want to talk about it. But if I can do it, man, you can do. So, okay, understanding back to what you were saying, I don't know, small story. So, back to what you were saying, the affirmation and the convincing your part of your mind and the heart. So, telling yourself mindlessly, oh, I'm confident, I'm this socially charismatic guy, I can talk to anybody, I can win, I don't care, right? But why is it that when the time arises to do something, that our fucking body is like paralyzed? Our mind just goes blank. Our heart just beats like fast as fuck, right? See the difference? Our mind, our conscious, the part that you're telling yourself, oh, I'm confident and all that stuff, is only 5%. The other 95% of the thing is your subconscious mind. I want to go in depth in this. If you want, you just maybe write in the comments if you want to like know more in depth about this, like subconscious mind, conscious mind, how to program the subconscious mind that is 95% of your brain, and how it's dictating your whole life until up till now, and that you're just unconscious about it. Maybe if you want to know more about that and how to rewire everything that happened from your past and actually start cutting, like becoming the person you really want to become, then just I can't even say the thing. Just write down in the comments, and I can make a whole video about it. All right. So back where I was saying, we can talk about that later. So affirmations can work when you close a loop, right? A loop means the loop is like people just say I'm confident, but they don't have evidence, right? They don't have evidence to back it up. So the first step is to have an affirmation. Now, I know like this might seem like too out of there, like oh woohoo stuff, right? But it actually works. It takes time, it takes consistency, but it works. It really works to convince that part of your brain that always brings those fucking PowerPoints as to why you are not. And get rid of that shit once and for all. So first, have a written text that you want to embody, right? What type of quality do you want to embody, right? Let's say you want to be that socially charismatic guy or the a confident guy, anything. Let's say write a statement, and when you write that statement, just telling yourself this statement mindlessly is not gonna work. As we said before, that shit doesn't work because that part of your brain needs convincing. Now, second part is that every single day from now on, for 30 days, what you're gonna do is write one statement that is true. Not statement, fuck. One evidence that reinforces that statement. It doesn't matter how small it is. It doesn't matter how small it is. Anything that is towards that statement. Let's say anything like effort. Because what if is like people think, oh, what if I'm not confident? What if I'm not able to do it? The effort to embody that, the effort to try this is also a win. Because I know that not anybody or everybody when they start, they don't have this big wins. Because what we're trying to do is like we're trying to have these small wins for 30 days, and with the momentum you're gonna have for those 30 days, I'm telling you, the small exercise, simple, small, really effective to change this. You don't need some bullshit like, oh, you need to read some 10 pages of affirmations, or do some bullshit that you know for a fact is not going to help you, or go out there and do the hardest thing you have done in your life and feel fucking anxious for your rest of your life and never go out there. This is simple yet easy that anybody can do, start doing for just 30 days. It's simple, you can just write it and everything. I just shared this to my community members and they loved it, right? It's easy, it works, and from there you can start having bigger goals, bigger statement, bigger wins. And this is like one tool that I share in my community. If you want to like know more about these tools and more things to like start making your life even easier with this mindsets and everything, your social life, then yeah. So if you're serious to like start changing your life and actually surround yourself with people who are crushing it, you love our free private community. There we host every single week a weekly call. We have tools and every single thing you need in your life in this journey to becoming the socially charismatic guy. So if that feel like you want to go about it, then I welcome you. Because if I'm being honest, the spots are kind of limited, and I can guarantee how long will they be open, right? So if you want, it's still free right now, and it can start costing again once we have certain amount of members in there. I mean, you can leave anytime you want, but our members who do join, they freaking love it. So click the first link in the description to get started. I can't wait to help you out and become the version of yourself who is confident, charismatic, and that motherfucking guy. All right.